as part of chapter 7. We'll be talking about the development of the mesodermal layer in early embryos. We've identified the mesoderm as a very active layer of the developing embryo because of the variety of organs derived from its subcomponents, from its categories. Mesoderm as a layer of tissue or a germ layer found on the middle or in the space between the ectoderm and the endoderm are important or is important for giving rise to certain structures of the animal. Page 225, we can review the subcategories of mesoderm, which we'll talk about in a little while, and comparing them to endo or ectoderm. Right, or comparing mesoderm to endo or ectoderm, it gives rise to really a lot, no? A lot of structures. Okay. The origin of the mesoderm is said to be the primary mesenchyme. These primary mesenchymes are a group of cells, mesenchymal cells of whatever germ layer of origin, and are described as spindle-shaped cells. Right? So they are spindle-shaped cells, regardless of germ layer, that started migrating towards the primitive streak. Once this primary mesenchyme becomes settled on the long axis of the animal, will give rise to mesodermal tissue, mesodermal layer, which will be divided into several components. No? One of the early components, or one of the divisions of the mesoderm that appear as an early contributing layer or early contributing group of cells, is the chorda mesoderm, giving rise to the notochord. Aside from the chorda mesoderm, other mesodermal categories or other groups of mesodermal cells include our dorsal mesoderm or paraxial mesoderm, the intermediate mesoderm, lateral plate mesoderm, and the head mesenchyme. Let's describe these divisions of the mesodermal layer. The paraxial mesoderm, also known as dorsal mesoderm or segmental plate mesoderm, is seen as somites or somatic pairs. So the somites found on either side of the notochord are actually paraxial mesoderm that are just arranged in such manner. These somites have central cavities inside them. The surface cells face towards the cavity, and they are actually the mesodermal cells that make up these somatic pairs are organized like epithelial cells. The somites are divided into several parts. Okay, so each somite will have particular parts. To name the two components of the somites, we have sclerotome and dermamyotome. Dermamyotome becoming or being subdivided or will be subdivided into dermatome and myotome. In a little while, we'll talk about them. And we also have the intermediate mesoderm. Intermediate mesoderm, that is in between the lateral plate and paraxial mesoderm, gives rise to gonadal tissues as well as reproductive tissues, gonadal tissues, as well as excretory tissue or excretory organ like the kidneys. And then lateral plate mesoderm, on the other hand, will actually give rise to two important layers: the splanchnic mesoderm and the somatic mesoderm. When they split, when the lateral mesoderm splits into splanchnic and somatic layers, they will give rise to the coelomic cavity of the animal. Once the somatic mesoderm combines with the ectoderm, right, will become somatoplure. The layer is said to be somatoplure. And on the other